gathering around once again, my friends, as I take a deep breath and begin to spin you a yarn about Tahnee, the young Aboriginal girl, and Maliki, the wise old dingo. A story about when you're feeling alone and lost, there's always hope. In the small community of Gwandalin, on the far edge of the central coast of New South Wales, there lived a young Aboriginal girl named Tahnee. She was a curious and adventurous soul, always eager to explore the vast lands beyond her family's camp. One day, while out on a walkabout, Tahnee wandered further than she had ever been before. The sun beat down on her, and the trees grew taller and closer together, making it hard for her to find her way back. As she walked, the landscape changed from an open landscape to dense bush, and Tahnee began to feel a sense of unease. She called out for her family, but only the wind replied. The little girl's heart pounded in her chest as she realized she was lost. Just as the darkness began to fall, Tahnee stumbled upon a clearing. In the center of it stood an old dingo, its gray fur matted and worn. His eyes twinkled with kindness as he looked at Tahnee. This was Maliki, a wise and ancient dingo who had lived in these lands for many moons. Maliki approached Tahnee, his tail wagging softly. He sniffed at her hands and face, then looked up at her with a gentle gaze. Tahnee felt a strange sense of calm wash over her. The wise old dingo seemed to sense her fear and uncertainty. "Who are you?" Tahnee asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I am Maliki," replied the dingo in a low, rumbling voice. "I've been watching you, little one. You're lost." Tahnee nodded, feeling a lump form in her throat. Maliki nuzzled her gently. "Don't worry, I'll guide you back to your family, but first, you must trust me." Tahnee nodded again, and Maliki set off into the darkness. As they walked, he told stories of the land and its secrets. He showed her which plants were safe to eat and which ones to avoid. He taught her how to listen to the whispers of the wind and how to read the signs of the animals. As they journeyed deeper into the night, Tahnee's fear began to fade, replaced by a sense of wonder and awe. She had never felt so connected to the land before. Maliki's stories wove a spell around her, making her feel like she was part of something much bigger than herself. As the first light of dawn crept over the horizon, Maliki led Tahnee to a familiar landmark, the giant eucalyptus tree with a distinctive knot in its trunk. Her family's camp was just beyond. Tahnee's heart swelled with joy as she spotted her family gathered around the fire. Her mother rushed forward, embracing her tightly. "Where have you been?" she asked, relief etched on her face. Tahnee smiled mischievously. "I went on walkabout," she said, "and I met Maliki." Her family listened in amazement as Tahnee recounted her tale of being lost and rescued by the wise old dingo. From that day on, Tahnee looked at the world with new eyes. She knew that there were secrets hidden beneath the surface of things, and that sometimes it took getting lost to find them. And whenever she ventured into the bush, she made sure to keep an ear out for Maliki's whispers on the wind. And that, my friends, is the tale of Tahnee and Maliki's adventure, a reminder that even when we are lost, there's always hope for finding our way back home with a little guidance from those who know the land best. Kris Brown 2024